What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cap Sports. We got a busy weekend coming up with college football with big implications on the playoff coming up. We're going to get into the Alabama-Oklahoma game. We're going to talk Alabama basketball since they're getting rolling. We're going to do a lot of talk about the college football playoff and the chaos that the committee is causing around the country. We're going to get into a little NFL talk. And then, we're looking forward to getting started.
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you to everyone that has continued to tune in and watch us over the last month. So, we've been doing this about a month now, dude.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling about this past month? How things have gone for us?
For one, it's been fun doing this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been something that we have talked about for a couple of years now, and it kind of fell in our laps. We jumped on the opportunity. We're thankful for Justin. And
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, allowing us to take over his space, and I hope he's enjoying it as much as we are. With Peyton and Tyler, I know neither of them are here tonight, so it's just me and you.
Yep. So we will fail or succeed doing our best, but we always bring our best, trying to get better. We always say that, trying to get better. But I do feel like we are. So hopefully y'all feel the same way. But dude, let's jump in and get started.
Yeah, so Alabama, Oklahoma. This is a huge. I'm kind of nervous about it, honestly. I'm pretty nervous about it.
Yeah,
to a degree.
Honestly, I'm really not. I'm really not.
I'm confident but nervous.
And maybe I should be. Maybe I should feel that way, but I'm not. They have not played good football.
No, they haven't.
They've not. I mean, I'm not saying like Oklahoma has consistently ever been an elite team, but they've relatively always been a good team. This year, they just have not figured it out. They do not. I mean, I believe they're 5-5 now.
They're 5-5. Their only conference win is against Auburn.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. Alabama has made tremendous progress the past few weeks.
No doubt. The second half of the season.
Yep. So they hit their stride at the right time.
Yeah, especially on the defensive side. The defense has come alive. I would say ever since really the Tennessee game, even though we lost that game, like the defense has looked outstanding.
Absolutely.
Since then.
I saw that we're actually number 3 in the nation for turnovers, like in defensive turnovers. And then like number 11 in defensive yards allowed. So we're like on the top defenses.
We couldn't have predicted that first half of the season.
Not at all, dude. Like
going back to the second half of the Georgia game.
We've forced 24 turnovers.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Big deal, right?
Win.
Yeah.
Never the past 2 years?
No. This season? Yeah, this season, dude.
Wow. Good for us.
I mean, when I read that, I had to just like pinch myself.
Check the date.
Yeah. It's like, is this an article from like 2013 or something with our lead? No, it's not. They've been playing really, really good.
No, they have. Yeah, it's been really exciting to see, and they've put our offense in good situations. And going, we're going to dive into the Oklahoma game. Oklahoma, they've had a lot of injuries.
A lot.
With their team, and they've had some quarterback controversy, never really had the guy take over the season for them.
No, honestly, I know they started the year with one guy, then they turned to the freshman, then have gone back to their guy. It's just been a revolving door with those couple of guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on down there, but I'm glad we're playing them to the last game of the season and just kind of allowing our guys to hopefully, have another week of taking it easy.
Yeah.
Let the stars get out there, play, at least a half of
dominate
football.
the first half, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all going to revolve around Jalen Milroe's legs again.
Yeah,
I mean,
leaning on him.
We need LSU Milroe to show up.
Oh, no doubt. Without the rain.
For the rest of the year.
Oh.
Without the rain, yeah.
Oh, that's facts, dude. Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. We definitely need that Milroe every single game. I wish that's the guy we had seen every game this season.
Yeah.
But, have your ups and downs.
There's still speculation that he had an injury for a couple weeks. And that's never really, been said or been confirmed. But the way he played against LSU.
It leads you to believe that there's
something was going on.
Yeah, because we've, had that bye week and everything. Yeah, so I agree. There probably was. Nothing ever came out on it officially, but yeah, I think I could agree to that.
Yeah, we need to run the football steadily. We need to get our running backs nice and oiled up for the game. Get them comfortable, get the offensive line in rhythm, open up the deep ball. Like, we just need to play sound, dominant football tomorrow night.
Yeah, everyone's going to come ready. 2 and 3 deep on the depth chart. Everyone's got ready to go. So I'm hopeful, that we do whoop their butts. And
Yeah, I mean, we got to give them a nice welcome to the SEC.
No, great way to put it. But no, I hope we're whooping their butts so bad by halftime that we let our second, third string come in again, because I really want to see some more Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
I really want to see some more Austin Mack.
We want to see Ty Simpson come in and throw the ball, not just hand it off 20 times. Yeah, we need to see that arm in action. But I'm looking forward to. Like I said, I'm a little nervous because we haven't played Oklahoma, since the national championship game a couple years, or the semifinals a few years ago.
Blake Bell or Blake Knight? No,
that was Kyler Murray.
No, there was a Blake Bell and a Trevor Knight that whooped us in the Cotton Bowl.
Oh yeah, years ago.
Yeah.
Blake Bell, he ended up being a tight. I think he moved to tight end later.
Yeah, he did.
The last time we played Oklahoma was when Kyler Murray, I believe, was the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think we won that game, but still,
Yeah,
we
we
hadn't
did.
played Oklahoma. First time playing them in conference, obviously. We need to send them a nice little message. Welcome to the SEC.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're giving Bama a 14-point spread with the over-under, the points total of 46.5. So I definitely think we'll exceed that points total between the two teams.
Points-wise, yeah. Hopefully that's one-sided for Bama.
Yeah, and I definitely think that they're going to
Cover.
cover.
I like to think so. Like I said, as long as the defense keep playing like they have been, man.
Yeah, for sure. And Milroe.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, him relying on his legs have looked fantastic.
Run with confidence.
And he's been doing that the past few
Yep.
weeks. So we have nothing to complain about. For me, I still want to see him be able to throw the ball and spread it out while still relying on Ryan Williams as his main target, and get some more passing touchdowns to the air. I just want, in the event that we make the playoffs, I want defenses to respect us from the offensive side of the ball.
Yep.
And to have to scheme and plan for that.
Respect the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For one, it sets up the running game.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Milroe's running game, but our actual running backs.
Yeah.
I want us to really continue to focus on that, and not because I don't think Milroe is capable of continuing just to run, relentlessly nonstop. It's just a scheme thing for me.
The offense need to groom Jalen into passing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night. They
And
don't
we
need
can-
to start
and we
out
know we
with
can
deep
do it.
shots. Yeah.
We know we can do it. That's what gets me so
dump
often.
offs, hit your running backs when you have to, hit a couple slants to Dupree and Jeremy Bernard across the middle. That way Ryan Williams can
Get
take
vertical.
the top off, and then it allows the defense to open up a little bit more, and then you can just hand it off to 26 and 22.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's like
I want 100 yards rushing by one of our running backs tomorrow night.
I would love to see that.
Because I don't think they've had one this year. I don't think they've had a 100-yard game this year.
Early in the season, yeah.
What, against what, Wisconsin? Maybe. Or it may have been Western Kentucky. Yeah. Yeah. No, I want to see a 100-yard
Or they were-
rusher
they
by
were
someone
extremely
that's
close.
not Jalen
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Let's see. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to stay on Alabama football for just a second. So there's speculation out there.
Speculation. Keyword.
Speculation.
Speculation. okay.
Allegedly, Keanu
Emphasis on
Coat,
alleged.
Keanu Coat
We'll get it.
allegedly messaged Coach DeBoer's daughter.
So he has been released from the team.
Yes.
Well, not he is.
He was suspended first, but
suspended.
then released.
Yeah. So he's no longer an active member of the team. And at first, it was very odd.
Because it
he
was
hasn't-
random.
Yeah, he hasn't been a major contributor, I'd say.
Because he was released on unspecified terms.
Right. But then it comes out
That
that
he-
is possibility,
Allegedly,
speculatively, that he messaged DeBoer's daughter.
with some
Provocative.
unnecessary pictures.
Yeah, some hoo-hee pictures.
So, if true, who does he think he is?
Bro. I don't even
do
know.
that?
I mean, the balls that man's got on him, figuratively and literally, to do that. And to think he can get away with it?
That's what I'm saying. If he was getting any NIL, did he just think he was untouchable?
I guess so. If it was Milroe, do you think he would be?
I think, first of all, I think Milroe is a way better person.
Absolutely.
Human. I think Milroe is a way better human who has respect for himself and Coach DeBoer
Yeah.
to not go after one of his daughters?
Yeah. Assuming this happens.
Assuming this is legit.
Yeah. We don't know. We're not in, we don't have our DMs.
But that's the report that we are seeing.
Yeah.
And all of it is speculation. But just because who
I mean,
does
you're the
to go after the head coach's daughter?
I don't know, dude. I mean, maybe coach was like riding him hard at practice, and he's like, "I'm gonna get back at you, back at your daughter." But you were a college football player, for one. Two, at one of the top tier schools in the country, there are infinite girls at that college, that are beautiful, and you're choosing the coach's daughter. What are you thinking, dude? If true,
and also if true. DeBoer should have every right to, let's put on our hypothetical hats. So if true, Coach DeBoer finds out about it, and Keanu Coate doesn't know that Coach DeBoer knows about this.
Yeah.
And he just runs him until
just suicides nonstop.
Right.
Yeah.
To make him want to quit or leave. And then kind of finds like, no, you're gone because, and then he shows him like a screenshot, let's say of like if his daughter, if true, shows a screenshot message of what transpired allegedly.
I hope it's not true though.
I hope not either, because that's such a bad look. Such a bad look for Keanu. Like even going forward, like he's transferring, but. If this is true, there's not going to like coaches with daughters.
If it's true, he's transferring to a
Canada
7 to like a 7 to 7. He's gonna be working a 12-hour shift somewhere like McDonald's because ain't nowhere else gonna pick him up.
No, because you cannot do that. You cannot do that.
He's gonna be working 12-hour shifts, and working night shifts somewhere.
Because I think he's a freshman too. I think he's a new recruit.
He might have been. I'm not certain. Anyways,
that's tough.
Yeah,
all alleged. All speculation.
Let's talk about some more positive though. Alabama men's basketball.
Yes. Yep. They dropped one to Purdue last week. Look, for the past few years now, ever since Nate Oates has been in the coach, Bama has been living by the three and dying by the three.
And
against Purdue, they died by the three.
They were grave bound against Purdue, with the three.
Purdue's a tough barn. They got some DWBs out there at Purdue.
Remind me what that means?
Dirty white boys.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Purdue's a really good basketball team. They were obviously number one in the country last year. They had a really good team. Seemed to be obviously really good again this year. But Bama bounces back this past week against Illinois at Birmingham. So it was basically a home game.
Basically
for Alabama.
a home game. They look fantastic.
Yeah.
Great team game. The star of the team though was a no-show. And you got some interesting stats and information on that.
I do, yeah. So Mark Sears, who preseason All-American, top 5 player in the country, went scoreless against Illinois. The only other time in his college basketball career he went scoreless was when he played at the University of Ohio, and that opponent was Illinois. So there's a coach on Illinois.
Major
staff.
Scouting has been done against Sears, and they held him in check.
I mean, he still dished the ball around, but he didn't attempt a lot of shots. Sears, I think last year he would force a lot more. Mark Sears is a facilitator. He's going to take his shot when he's got an open shot, and I think he realized early that it wasn't hitting for him because he still had a few assists, and he's a menace on defense too. Like he's going to put pressure on him. But
imagine if he had some height to him.
Yeah, but Bama has surrounded him with other guards that can take over a game, and they still got Grant Nelson who can take over.
Who's gotten better,
and it's because he doesn't looking at him. It's like there's no way this guy's good at ball.
Yeah,
dude, he's a stud.
No,
he's a dog. He's a DWB.
With how good we were last year, it's amazing that they've actually gotten better. I mean, they've added more shooting, more height, more bigs.
They reloaded.
They did. They reloaded with better ammo.
Yeah. Now, so a couple other guards that took over in Mark Sears' struggle game, LeBaron Fallon, true freshman, almost a triple-double.
That's huge.
Yeah, he had 16.7 rebounds, 9 assists. Aiden Holloway, who's a transfer from Auburn.
Love it. Been looking great this season.
18 points. And Grant Nelson led the way with 23 points and 8 rebounds. And he also had 4 blocks. So
he's a dog.
Good game all the way around. And the center, I didn't put his name. I think it's Omuri.
Yeah.
Omuri, the big guy transferred from Rutgers last year. He's a fun player too.
Yeah.
He's a bully. In the
Grant
paint.
Nelson, though, I think the team is really going to have to continue to lean on him throughout the year, but especially when it comes March Madness, because he was a huge factor for Alabama last season, making the run that they did, because we had a couple key guys out and hurt during the March Madness last year.
Yeah.
And, he really hadn't been that major of a contributor throughout the season last year. But when playoffs rolled around and he had to step up, he did big time.
Yeah, once he got used to the flow, how the team works and the facilitating and all that stuff, he's good from anywhere on the floor.
Anywhere.
And he's not a slouch on defense either. So the production you're getting on offense, he's just doubling down and doing the same on defense.
Yes,
too.
he is. Man, he's a key defender. He's going to get you probably 2.
He's long.
He's so long. I mean, he's going to get you 2 to 3 blocks a night, which is huge. He's going to get the rebounds. But yeah, like you said,
He can spread it out.
I love that he can get down low and score from low. But he's a great 3-point shooter for his size. I mean, he's really, really good.
And they don't really have to necessarily rely on him to be a bruiser in the paint, because you got Omuri down there.
Yeah, that's a huge addition to the team right there, because they really didn't have that last year.
He can just hold down the paint, be a bully down there, and let everybody else shoot.
Yeah.
And Bama's got a team full of shooters.
They sure do. Kind of lacking last year.
It's almost their kryptonite too, though.
It is.
Like I said, because it hurt them in the Purdue game. If they can't hit their threes, they almost, with as good as post players as Grant Nelson and Omuri are in the paint, you can't get, value production out of them in the paint. You need your shooters to be on.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I agree. But yeah, no, I feel that Alabama has taken a step forward. I mean, they were a top 4 team, into the madness last year. Made it to the top 4.
Which they got hot at the right time, because they were ending the regular season on kind of a down, because we were like, what is happening to this Bama team? They started off hot.
And then kind of started falling off,
Yeah, because they were playing tough out-of-conference games, which I want to say we said last episode, those tough out-of-conference games, got them calloused up for the SEC, and then obviously later on in the tournament, because they got hot.
Yeah, they got hot at the right time. Really found out who they were. But like we said a moment ago, this team is not only reloaded, they've reloaded with better ammo. So I can't wait to watch them.
And they brought back 2 of their main pieces in Mark Sears and Grant Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know. Can't say that they're going to win it all, but I believe they're going to be in the same position they were in last year. But I feel that they can definitely take it all the way.
When you got 6 or 7 guys who can hurt you from beyond, that's got to be so fun to be Nate Oates. When you're the best, arguably the best player in the country, scores 0 points, and you get a double-digit win over a pretty stout
good
Illinois team.
Yeah, I mean, they're not a bad team.
Nah. But they got another out-of-conference game next Tuesday against number 7 Houston, and that's a rematch from last year's game that went down to the wire.
They did, yeah.
They play in Las Vegas.
Oh, is it in Las Vegas?
Yep.
Oh, man.
It's going to be fun.
Hey, y'all make sure to hit like and subscribe and get us to 1 trillion followers before the game so we can go watch it in Vegas.
Yes,
please.
so YouTube will fly us out to Las Vegas.
Make us extremely famous before
I'm off work next Tuesday.
Sames. I can roll
Help us out.
Help us out, yeah.
We'll go live during the game.
I'll run on the court if y'all do.
We'll go Facebook Live during the game and get our live reactions.
Yeah.
But so speaking of live reactions, we are going to now deep dive into the most controversial topic that surrounds college football.
Yep. It's become a topic every week, but it's important. I mean, we've never seen anything like this.
Nope.
I'm going to do my best to not talk about what the committee needs to do to make this better, because I have talked about so much. But yeah, so let's talk about where all the teams are at right now.
Yeah, so we've got the updated board drawn out of the college football bracket and where it stands as of today. If the football playoffs were starting this weekend, you have
Top fours.
We'll start at the top four. Yeah, that's a good start. So you got Oregon staying at number 1. Miami moves from number 4 up to number 3.
Yep.
You got Texas staying at number 2, and then Boise freaking State goes from the 12 seed to the 4 seed.
Yeah. So this
A
is
Power 4 school.
Yep.
Or no, sorry. Power 4 school jumps ahead of a Power 5 school.
Yeah. So I mean, and they're doing it based off of like conference leaders. So again, it's like there's just so much. I don't know.
Out of all the changes you make,
To me, that's
to the
not more.
playoff.
That to me, that's not most deserving. They want to talk about the teams being most deserving. Doing it that way is not most deserving.
So, and
I'm not hating on Boise State. I actually think they're a really great team this year, really do. But
they are not the top 4 team.
no. I mean, do they deserve that?
Tennessee's better than
Like
Boise
if the
State.
season ended right now and this is the way it looked, like are we really saying that Boise State deserves that bye week due to them leading their Big Four, Power 4 conference, whatever? Like
Yeah.
compared to all of the other teams that are behind them, like,
There's 5 teams in the top 12 that are better than Boise State.
exactly. So I mean that just adds another layer to the chaos.
Like, why bounce BYU? Like,
Because-
you could have kept the top 4
they
the
lost,
same.
because they lost.
Oh, that's right. BYU did lose this past weekend. I forgot about that. Yep, they lost to Kansas. That's
So
right. I take that back.
that's top 4. Who
Yeah.
again, if season ends today, that's what it'd be with the top 4, and they would have a bye. So let's run through the next 5 through 12.
Yeah, so at the 5th seed, you still got Indiana, who's got a massive game tomorrow against Ohio State, who is currently the 5th overall seed, ranked 2 in the country.
No, so I think that Indiana.
We need Indiana to lose.
No, Indiana's ranked 5th, but they're the 7 seed. That's why you got that.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So the number 5 seed is actually Ohio State.
Correct. Yeah, I said that backwards.
Yeah. So second ranked overall, Ohio State has the 5 seed.
Correct. Yes.
Against 14th ranked BYU, who is the 12 seed.
Yep. Which obviously with BYU losing to Kansas is why they moved out of the top 4, and I forgot about that. That game, I think Ohio State waxes the floor with BYU.
Yeah.
I mean, that's which sucks for BYU. They've had a really good year. If they were to play Ohio State in the first round of the playoffs, it's been real BYU. But I think you're going home.
Appreciate your participation.
Enjoy the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going home early. And then the second seeding we got 7th ranked Alabama going against 6th ranked Notre Dame. That's the 9 and 8 seeds. We'll see you, Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been nice knowing you too.
You've had a terrible year.
Terrible. Haven't really played anybody. Speaking of Notre Dame, just to kind of, go off for a second, have Army this weekend.
Yes. Let's go Army.
Pulling for you guys.
Army, do everybody a favor and get Notre Dame out of there.
Yeah. Because really if they win, they're probably knocking on the top 12's door.
I believe so too. With a win at Notre Dame, they still got to play Navy. I want to say, is that next weekend? It will be next weekend. Yeah. And after this weekend, Army can lose next weekend to Navy, and it would just solidify Notre Dame being out of the top 12.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think everybody in the world, other than Notre Dame fans, are pulling for Army.
So the winners of the Alabama and Notre Dame game would, at this point in time, go on to play Oregon.
Oof.
So I'm kind of hoping Bama can win out these next 2 weeks.
Alabama hasn't played Oregon. I don't think ever.
I don't know. I mean, I can't.
Obviously, ever. It's hard
I can't
to say ever, but
I know as long as we've been watching football for the last 20 years, 25 years, since we're 5 or 6, whatever. I don't recall.
Especially since Oregon's reign when they had Mariota and DeAnthony Thomas and all those lightning bolts they had back in the day. Alabama and Oregon would be a pretty fun game to watch.
Jeez Louise, it would.
Oh, man. The next round of games, we have the number 4 ranked Penn State hosting number 10 ranked Georgia.
That's one game that I want to see happen. I hope.
Just so Georgia can beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of talk online on Twitter and stuff from Penn State fans, obviously, who just 1,000% believe, they're going to do the whiteout game. They're going to do the Mo Bamba, song throughout the game, and they're just going to wax the floor with Georgia. As bad as Georgia's been this year, they finally looked good this past week. And as much as I hate to say it, maybe that's all it took. Maybe that's all it took for them to figure it out going forward. Maybe they're going to get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
Don't want it to happen. Probably likely.
No, it's fine. When it gets to that point, you kind of root for the SEC during these games just so the SEC teams can flex their muscles against the rest of the country, show everybody else the SEC is the biggest and baddest conference.
We're still the top dog
in the country. I think Georgia would handle Penn State pretty well. Because Penn State, that's another team. You can almost compare them to Notre Dame. They have not looked good. Their best, I have it down here. Penn State's best win. They don't have one.
Yeah.
At all. Because their only true game, like matchup game they had was against Ohio State, which they lost.
Yeah. Yeah, and they had well, no, that's not true. I was going to say they had a close game at USC, but they ended up pulling away toward late. But it was close for a bit.
Yeah, USC should have had that one.
Yeah. It was close for a long time. That was weeks ago, but still. All right, so next, though, the last seeding currently would be Indiana and Ole Miss. And Colton already touched on that for a minute, but it's 5th-ranked Indiana against 9th-ranked Ole Miss. Indiana is the 7 seed, and Ole Miss is the 10 seed. And the winner of that game would go on to play Texas.
That could be an SEC matchup right there.
So, this is one we know for sure. Well, I can't say we don't know for sure. No. But we feel pretty confident.
Because these rankings are going to flip on their head again next week.
So, Indiana and Ohio State are playing this weekend. So, depending on who wins that, if Ohio State wins, the likelihood of Indiana even being in the top 12 anymore is
I think
because they don't have the resume either. It's just I don't know.
Indiana's looked impressive.
So many teams don't have the resume. They don't have the strength of schedule. They haven't had quality teams they've played against. Pretty much everyone, all these other teams outside the SEC have played, have losing records. So all these teams that are in the top 12 that are not SEC teams that those teams have played, I don't believe even have winning records.
There's people out there who are saying, the committee's SEC biased, but the SEC is hands down the best conference in the country. They play
each other
throughout the year.
Hard teams.
And Bama, I think, had the 6th or 16th. Here we go, my sixes. But they've had a top, as far as strength of schedule.
Yeah, it's top 10.
Because
I know that Florida's was number 1.
Oh yeah,
for the year.
But yeah, the SEC, they go to battle every single weekend within the conference. Big Ten, but Big Ten seems kind of top heavy with Ohio State, Oregon. I hate saying Penn State is one of the best teams in the country, especially earning the ranked 4.
Yeah.
But I think I agree with you. If Ohio State beats Indiana, Indiana's out. And that game's at 11 o'clock.
Dude, don't even get me started on that. CBS, or is that NBC?
ABC. Fox. It's big noon on Fox.
Yeah, Fox. Yeah, Fox. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with them. Some of the best games coming on that early. Why? What are you doing? Nobody wants to watch.
The game has no business being at 11 o'clock.
No. People want to watch it at a 2:30 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, give us the primetime game or give us the afternoon game.
Yeah, I appreciate it coming on that early because now that means whenever the actual other good games are on, I don't have to also flip to that game. But still, at least for your actual fans,
that does kick off the day.
Yeah,
with a
at least for your fans of those teams, no one wants to be up for the stadium that early. Two,
No.
it's a primetime game. It's an
Yeah, that's a
important
big
game.
matchup. That game tomorrow will have major implications.
And then they'll have
on-
crap teams on at the 2:30 and 6, time slots.
Yeah, whatever. That's the Big Ten for you. So yeah, I think Ole Miss, if they were to play Indiana in the first round, I think they handle Indiana pretty well. And they would have Texas.
Yeah.
So let's go back up to the top. We have Ohio State. So the second round games, would those be bowl games? Teams don't have home field advantage in the second rounds, do they?
I don't know.
Peyton, would you? Oh, Peyton's not here.
No,
I forgot.
I don't know, dude.
Look it up. Look it up because
Okay, just
I'll
keep
free ball
talking.
for a
Keep
second. So
talking.
you would have Ohio State and Boise State going against each other. We projected Alabama playing against Oregon. We have Georgia playing Miami. That'd be a fun game. And then Ole Miss playing Texas. So other games going on that could also potentially have big implications on the playoff rankings. We touched on Notre Dame and Army, BYU and Arizona State, Big 12 matchup, who also, it could help BYU's case if they were to beat Arizona State. Arizona State's ranked 21st. BYU to beat them, that would help their resume a little bit more. But like I said, Tuesday's rankings seedings are going to come back out. Everything that's on this list right now means nothing because it'll all get flipped on its head depending on what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. So the article I just read was actually quoting Saban, talking about if he was still manning the sidelines, that he would prefer having home field advantage over a first round bye. So it does appear that the winners of the brackets, will have that home field advantage throughout until it gets to the main semis and
For the bowl games,
Yeah.
the orange,
yeah. So until the semis and until the national championship, which
So the second round games would also be home field advantages too?
yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. The four best teams, why not let them host a playoff game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. Which, come on, Bama. Find a way, squeak into that. I won't say squeak in. There's no squeaking in the top four as an SEC team. You're going to have to freaking earn it.
No, a lot would have to happen for even Bama to get in.
I don't know, though. So Auburn's got A&M this weekend. Come on, Auburn.
No,
And then Texas A&M beat Texas next weekend.
look, dude. So speaking of the Auburn Texas A&M game, this is so Auburn. Okay, they win this weekend, right? Which would give them 5 wins, one shy of becoming bowl eligible.
Here we go.
And then who do they play the last game of the season? Alabama in the Iron Bowl. That would be our luck. They would win this weekend, get their
Beat us
minds
to
right,
get in the bowl.
get their minds right, get happy, get excited, and we're like, oh yeah, we can beat Alabama. Da 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 da. And
Just adding more fuel to the fire.
yeah,
Beating Bama to get bowl eligible.
we want, in a sense, I guess Auburn. At this point, do we still want Auburn to win? I know
We only
There's
want
been
Auburn to win tomorrow against A&M, only if Texas A&M will beat Texas next weekend.
screw it. I want Texas A&M. I don't care. I want Texas A&M to win both games.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
Yeah, just because the Iron Bowl doesn't need any extra fuel.
Nope. I don't care that it's in Bryant Denny. Thankful it's at Bryant Denny this year.
Yeah. No, it doesn't
That way
matter.
they don't do their voodoo. It doesn't matter. You're right, but they
It will, yeah.
They do animal sacrifices before the game down there or something. I don't know. But yeah, no
At Cal College?
Something gets real weird during the Iron Bowl when it's at their place.
Yeah.
Don't want to see it.
No, I don't either. So yeah, huge implications this weekend. Like I said, we are definitely pulling for Army just to go ahead and get Notre Dame out of the picture.
Yeah, take care of
Ohio
them.
State beats Indiana tomorrow. It'll get Indiana out of the picture. But I believe that Tennessee is better than 6 teams on that list.
Do you?
I think they're better than Indiana. They're obviously
Are they better than Alabama?
they're better than Alabama. I will say they're better than Alabama because they beat Alabama.
I think
At
they're.
this
I
point of
think
the
they're
year,
better that night.
They were better that night. Right now, it would still be a good game, but I don't have them better than Bama looking at it right now.
Yeah.
I got them better than Indiana, Penn State, BYU, Boise State. Did I say Notre Dame already?
No.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
So that right there, that's 5 teams that Tennessee is hands down 100% better than today.
I out of the teams you just named, I would give Boise State the most credit for who I think would give them a good game. Nobody's stopping Ashton Genty, dude.
No.
Nobody's stopping them.
No. But with Tennessee's defense being as good as they are, they would have to make Boise State throw the
Really,
ball.
though, there's no elite running backs in the SEC this year for the first time in probably 20 years.
Jalen Milroe. He's the best running back we got.
But really, truly going back 20 years, there's been an elite
From somebody.
from some SEC school, there's been an elite running back. We don't have that this year.
Now it seems like it's more receiver heavy, dominant SEC wise. Like Jalen Milroe, unbiased, is probably the best quarterback in the conference. Going off of what he's done,
I get what you're
Quinn
saying.
Ewers, obviously he's a highly sought after, draft pick.
I would say
But Texas as a team, it's hard to say how good they really are.
I based on his resume over the last 3 years of him, being the starter, I would say that Quinn Ewers is the more prototypical QB. He's very accurate, knows where to throw it, knows when to run it, when to get rid of it. I'd be happy with him.
If Jalen wasn't as good as a scrambler he wouldn't be a very good quarterback, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's just the threat of him taking off makes him so dangerous.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered pretty much everything you can cover on college football right now, I believe. Let's just go ahead and jump into the NFL, though, dude.
Yeah, so big news coming out of the New York Giants today. Daniel Jones gets the boot.
Gone, see ya, pal. And, he's talking about he's got a lot of good football left ahead of him. I don't maybe in the back, if he has kids, maybe in the backyard with his kids, he's planning on playing pickup football, down the playground or something against some 6-year-olds. And sure, yeah, not certain that he has.
He's got Titans written all over him.
He probably does. Go ahead and get that jersey and get it from TMU, and that way you're ahead of the curve.
Could you imagine a quarterback room with Will Levis, Mason Rudolph, and Daniel Jones?
And the fact that Mason Rudolph still wouldn't be the starter, yeah, that'd be pretty sad.
Who doesn't get fired up about Titan football?
Yeah, no,
That's wild, though. What is it like? There's 5-6 games left in the season?
Yeah. They're doing it. They're, for one, preventing them. So they have an injury clause in there where they'd owe him $23 million, I believe. So they don't want to have to be responsible for that if he gets hurt and then can't make the roster next year due to injury. So they're saving on that. But the weird thing to me is now that they're releasing them, they are still having to pay $20 million in dead money. So I guess that will count.
That's money well spent for them, you got to think.
Yeah. The other surprise so early this week, obviously, he was benched and demoted. Mm-hmm. But the big surprise for me is that they jumped Drew Lock, who was the number 2 quarterback, and put Tommy DeVito as the starter.
DeVito, yeah.
Yeah. So, he was somewhat of a little local hero last year for the Giants.
Played well enough, I guess.
Yeah, he played 6 games, did go 3-3. A couple of those losses weren't on him, still played well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, that's a big surprise. Why was he the number 3 all year for you to jump Drew Lock?
Congrats, you're a starter now.
Yeah, it was just a surprise. Probably that to me that was more surprising than Daniel Jones.
But to the Giants,
released.
Yeah, sorry. So for the Giants though, you got to think, get DeVito in there because you're probably thinking that Drew Lock's your guy next year.
You think so?
Unless they take a quarterback in this draft. They're probably going to end up with another top 5-10 pick or whatever.
I'm sure they will.
Whatever quarterbacks come out, you got to think that's on their radar because they obviously took Malik Neighbors with their first round pick last year, who's a freak.
Yeah, he's a great.
So you got to think now they reload and just get a quarterback, someone that they can groom, hopefully under Drew Lock, who hasn't played fantastic, hasn't played terrible.
His time
better than Daniel Jones.
His time with the Broncos, I feel like he did pretty well. And then a couple years ago when he was with Seattle, was very much in competition with Geno Smith.
Because didn't Geno, he got hurt at some point last year, and Drew Lock came in. And it was like a primetime game and lit it up.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So it was that's always cool to see when you see a quarterback who gets drafted high to a team, has to sit behind. Well, he was sitting behind Russell Wilson, I guess, at the time.
Yeah.
And then get traded.
Well, no. So Drew Lock was there before Wilson came on board.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was there. So he did have opportunities for about a year or two.
Well, I know he played. Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually Russell Wilson did come in, and about the time that Wilson, so Wilson came to the Broncos in a trade that sent Drew Lock to the Seahawks.
Oh yeah, duh. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Shame on me. But that's also it's going back. I know we've touched on it a couple of times. Like when teams draft a quarterback, especially in the first round, like you're their guy.
Yeah.
Unless you're Michael Penix, who got drafted by the Falcons this past year, he gets to sit under Kirk Cousins, which is a fantastic play for Michael Penix.
Yeah, smart move by the team. I'm really glad they're doing that, pulling the old Green Bay Packers playbook out.
Yeah,
You know,
but
let
for
the guy
other
develop.
rookie quarterbacks, like you don't get.
The luxury of sitting and learning.
It's wild. Like it sucks for them because they're so good in college, which earns them the spot to be able to get drafted in the first round, and then it's like, hey, go
Go do what you did in college.
take us to the Super Bowl.
Here's my biggest complaint outside of taking these rookie quarterbacks and immediately throw them into the fire is that they then, so like, okay, I'm going to use Monroe as my example. So we know what his skill set is. I do believe he has capability of being an elite passer. Hasn't put it together yet, but we know he can run, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to, let's just say he's drafted in the first round next year. And a team takes him and they're going to say, hey, we know what you're great at. That's why we took you in the first round. But to be a pro, we need you to start doing all these things, and none of those things complement what he's good at. And so many teams do that. They'll take these guys, and you see it time and time again, and the things that made them those elite quarterbacks, the reason why you drafted them, they don't even put it on display. They don't build the offensive scheme and the play types around what that quarterback is good at. They say, hey, here's this, I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm the head coach. Here's the playbook we've been running the past few years. No one else could figure it out. No one else could do it good, but you're a much better player. Learn it, which in a sense I do understand, to evolve their game. But still, it's like you're not allowing them to succeed at what they're good at. And that's something that's extremely frustrating with me when it comes to NFL quarterbacks.
Because it ruins quarterbacks' careers like early.
Yeah, it does. Like it
Especially the bubble quarterbacks, the ones that
like a Johnny Manziel, like
the ones that can be really good, even for Baker for those couple of years that he was in Cleveland, they ruined him. They took 5 years off of his career that he will never get back.
No doubt. Yeah. But speaking of Baker and the Bucks, that's who the Giants will be playing this weekend. So that'll be a pretty.
I think Mike Evans is coming back too.
He is, yeah. Well, he's got what'd you say, 5 or 6 games left in the year.
Yep.
So yeah, to continue his streak, this would be, I guess, his 12th year. He's had 11 straight seasons of 1,000 plus receiving yards, and so to continue that streak, he's got to get. I think he has
How many more do you need?
I think he needs like 300 or 400 more yards, I believe.
Oof.
I mean, he's a dog.
Yeah, coming off an injury though, you just hope they don't
overdo it.
Because Mike, he's been so good ever since he came out.
Yes, yeah. Day
Didn't
one.
him and Manziel play? They played together in A&M.
Yeah, they did.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's been in the league a long 12 years now.
He's been steady production every single year with the same team.
Yeah, I do believe that is an NFL record though for consistent seasons with 1,000 plus receiving yards.
Good for him.
Yeah,
that's tough.
That is,
especially because he's seen the game change
a lot. Yeah. Think of all the quarterbacks he's had.
It helped having Tom Brady.
Yeah, Jameis. Fitzpatrick for a little bit. Ron Fitzpatrick a little bit.
Glennon.
Mike Glennon. Brady. Probably a little bit of Kyle Trask.
Now
Baker. So, yeah. He's had a lot of guys.
And he's seen the NFL, like the game change so much.
Yeah.
And he's been the guy.
The guy.
For him.
Yep.
Good for him. Yep. I'm rooting for him. That'd be cool. Would you say 11 straight years of 1,000 yards?
Yeah. I mean, that's unreal.
Yeah.
And to think that
on a Bucks team that really hasn't been good.
No, I disagree. They have been really good. They've gotten screwed a lot in the last 30 seconds of a game.
I'm talking about this year, but overall, through Mike Evans' tenure with the Bucks.
Oh, yes.
They haven't been great.
Aside from those couple years where Brady was there.
Well, yeah.
Led them to the Super Bowl and then was a game away from making it back again.
Yeah. So another thing, we'll talk about the Titans real quick, who have they play the Texans this weekend in Houston. 5 out of the last 7 games are division games.
That's
They
unbelievable.
can get it done. I'm telling
I
you,
know.
they can get it done.
I believe it. That would be their luck. We've kind of talked about the
That'd be
potential.
the most Titans
It
thing
would
to
be.
do.
It would be because it's like, okay, the season's done. Let's just go
Wrap it up.
Let's get our top 5 pick. And then they're going to be like, no, we're going to win out and be just good enough to make the playoffs,
Win the division.
lose the playoffs, and then still have a mid-round pick where everybody that's really good is gone.
But we've said it. I mean, with the draft being kind of open, they really don't know who exactly is coming into the draft. Having that mid-round pick might be more beneficial because you have your quarterback of the future with Will Levis. So,
And if nothing else, they still have Mason Rudolph. So
yeah, I mean, I know I hated on him a lot, but he did good enough when
yeah,
he was the starter.
He would have had 2 additional wins if it wasn't for special teams.
I still think they lose that Lions game.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, yeah, I agree.
Because the Lions, I mean,
Yeah, that's no doubt about that one.
yeah.
They got whooped. Ugly game.
L'Jarius
So-
Sneed just got thrown on the IR today.
Oh, did he? Mm. I didn't see that.
Yeah. But he's been a non-factor this year.
That's true. So let's take a moment.
Yep.
Today is Friday,
The
22nd. So last night, my Steelers played the 2-8 Cleveland Browns in a whiteout game. Okay, it was a snow blizzard.
The second half, the first half.
Yeah, it looked like a normal spring day. Okay, fantastic game all around, both sides of the ball.
It was fun to watch. Yeah.
Both teams looked really good. Jameis Winston still looks great.
Nick Chubb got him a couple
Yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah, he did. The Steelers did go on to lose the game. Okay, so it was Steelers got up 3-0 early, and then eventually the Browns went up 13-3, I believe. Yep. But after halftime, pretty much the first drive of halftime, Steelers forced a turnover. They got 3 turnovers in the second half.
Yeah.
And by then, though, it was, like I said, a whiteout game. And you couldn't, I mean, the TV, it looked like 19...
They were cycling between cameras to try to give you the best picture. And
No good picture.
Didn't exist.
Look, the TV screen, though, it looked like 1970s, like fuzzy static. Like, that's how bad the snow was. You couldn't see
Like
what was
you were
going on.
watching the game on a channel you didn't get all the way.
On a channel that you shouldn't be watching, yeah. Like one of those.
You're trying to squeak through, trying to find the open spots.
What
on
is?
the
Oh,
screen.
yeah. No, that's exactly what it looked like. But we know what we're talking about.
Oh, we do.
So, anyways, though, but the Steelers.
How do you play in a game like that?
For one, I don't. I have, and it sucks. I told you this last night. It's one thing to play a football game in the rain, trying to catch the ball, trying to throw the ball sucks. But to play it in the snow and to play it in
It started sleeting at the end of the game.
It did. But playing the snow and playing the freezing cold like that, throwing the football is hard enough. But the receivers,
Good for them.
their hands are probably still hurting today, 24 hours later.
Well, just imagine the hits that you get and take throughout the game. Like you may not feel them
like that
in the moment.
like in the moment on the field, in the game, like honestly, like you don't really feel the cold, like because you're sweating, it's hot, and they got these industrial heaters on the sideline to keep you warm.
Those big jackets
and
they
those
put on
massive, woolly mammoth jackets. So I mean that helps. So like I'm not saying you don't feel the cold, but it's not as bad as it probably appears to us. It's still cold, but not quite as bad. But again, like catching that football that's soaking wet and it's frozen, so it's like catching a 20-pound boulder.
If they
thrown at
caught
you.
it with their hands.
Yeah. Now there's a lot more body catches. Like pretty much. I even a lot of times like receivers will almost let it bounce off their chest and like catch the rebound.
Just rebound it.
Yeah. So, anyways, going on though, Steelers though, in the second half, forced a lot of turnovers, took the lead, stopped them again, and then there's only a handful of minutes left in the game. They stop us. So it's third down. I believe they brought in Justin Fields again, and he threw honestly a really good deep ball.
Had a couple good scrambles.
He did. He did. He actually looked good in the scrambles. Made some key third down runs for us, but came in on third down. Came in for Russ, threw a great deep ball to George Pickens, and that probably would have sealed the game. And Pickens got, I'm not excusing the game away, but Pickens got held and just drugged down, and no flag was called. So we go on to punt it. Ask me what happens with the punt. We punted it 15 yards. Okay, from our own end zone, we punted it 15 yards.
I missed that part.
Which then allows them to have the ball at like their own, I believe, 40.
Going in.
So we actually get them to third down a couple times in this same drive, again, with only two and a half minutes left in the game. And they convert on third down. I believe they converted on fourth down even at one point.
Well, I saw one stat that showed up. The Browns at one point were 0 for 9 on third downs, but 4 for 4 on fourth downs.
Yeah. So they brought up that stat in the game last night about them being 0 for 9 on third down. And, of course, as fate would have it, it was third down, and they're bringing that up. What happens? First down.
Yep.
They get down within our 5, and Chubb just runs it in, and they eventually take the lead. And, so we got the ball back. There's 56, 57 seconds left, and we have one timeout. We get down, to the 25, let the clock run a minute, get another play out, eventually get down to between the 45 and 50. I can't quite remember.
You just crossed midfield.
And there's all of 6 seconds left, I believe, so we have to throw a Hail Mary. And honestly, Russ threw a beautiful ball.
In those conditions, to throw it like that,
he threw it
that far?
He threw it 50 yards in the air. It was a great ball, great placement.
Yeah.
But they had a bunch of defenders around, obviously. I don't feel like any of our receivers made a great play on the ball. Like, we had one, our new...
They probably couldn't see the ball.
That's a good point. But Mike Williams was actually in a really good position to make a play on the ball. Whether he went up and caught it, if he were to make an attempt to go up and catch it, he would have caught it. But if not that, the Browns defender who batted it down, like, Williams was in a good spot to where, honestly, whenever that ball was being batted down, he could have just caught it off the tip because it was batted back down forward. But he just kind of stood there and watched it go up and come down and get smacked down. And out of anybody that could have made a point, bro, you could have. And you're probably the tallest guy out there.
Yeah.
So it was disappointing. It was a really great game. Jameis Winston looked fantastic. Jerry Jeudy looked fantastic. Nick Chubb looked fantastic.
Yeah.
But our defense looked fantastic. Played lights out again. Lots of sacks.
Russ got hit a lot.
That's another thing I'm going to say. On the final play, when he made that heave of a throw, he got destroyed. I don't know how a flag was.
Because that guy was just hanging out. He came on a late blitz.
Yeah,
and then Russ got destroyed.
Like, it was an extremely. They say it was within 2 steps of him making that throw that he made the hit. It looked a touch more than that. But not only that, he led with his head, so that should have been a.
Yeah, they didn't ever go back and if you didn't see it happen in real time, they didn't go back and show the last play.
No, so the defender led with their head though, so that should have been a penalty if nothing else. If it wasn't led with his head on a defenseless player.
That was the most AFC North game I've ever seen.
Great game. Hate the outcome. Fantastic game. Love it. If the Browns, do end up building their new stadium, it's supposed to be a dome. Hate that. Because, man, that's just what makes football.
I said that's AFC North football.
Yeah.
It's just cold. Here in November, December games, are you going to get awful weather? The grittiest team's going to come out with the win. But, so the temperatures got cold here the past couple of days, and it's made me sick. Getting up and it'd be 30 degrees outside. It may get up to 50, but it's cold. The wind's been cold. But watching that game last night, seeing it snow.
Oh, I had to get under a blanket just watching it.
It made me so mad that we're at that time of year now.
Yeah,
it's so cold.
I used to hate.
I couldn't be in the north right now,
but I've grown to appreciate it. It's fun.
It's nice to get snow once a year.
Their snow up there though is so much different than our snow. Our snow is hard, compact. It's a mixture of sleet and ice. Theirs is that soft, fluffy Santa's Village style, style snow.
And they're built for they have everything in place to prepare for those snow storms, apocalypses, whatever.
Yeah. Whereas
down here in Alabama,
no.
The state will shut down for 3 days if it snows hard enough.
Ask us how we know.
Yeah. Miserable.
True misery.
But yeah, that was the most AFC North game I've ever seen. And it ended up being who can run the ball the best and who can maybe get a couple of short catches.
Yeah.
Because it was, that second half was just a skating rink.
All over the field. Another thing with the NFL, So it looks like there's 6 teams on bye this
Boring.
weekend. So for those of you who do fantasy football, check your lineups if you haven't recently, because more than likely half your team's going to be not playing.
Not playing
Yeah,
this
so
week, yeah.
be sure to check on that. So you had a story for us, though, dude.
Yeah, so going back to my time at JSU, so I was a freshman, so this was our first, we had just finished up with summer camp, and they do a media day, and it's where all the fans can come out and, we'll go through a line, and the players will line up and sign, like, the posters that they have for the season. He's got the team schedule, and it's got players' pictures scattered across the poster. You get one when you come in, all the players sign it, so on and so forth. Well,
Right.
my mom had came down for this for the media day and got the poster, and I was walking through and introducing some of the friends I'd made those first couple months, and one of my best friends on the team ended up being one of my best friends on the team. I ended up being in his wedding. Max Holcomb, if you remember Keith Holcomb,
Yes.
that played at Alabama, it's
Yeah.
his older brother, All-American center at Jacksonville State. But we get to him, and we'll pause on that story. So with me being an equipment manager, the head guy at the time had nicknames for all the managers. We had guys that were called Hawk, Rat, Stump, whatever, nicknames. I was given my name Twitch
And why is that?
because I have a slight condition.
Yeah.
We'll call it a condition, a blessing. It's a slight blessing.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
So
Very politically correct.
with that being my nickname, it stuck, obviously.
Yeah.
So going back, we get to Max in line, and I'm standing with my mom, and those who know my mom,
Hi, Candy.
yeah. So we get up to him, and he's like, as loud as he could, "What up, Twitch?" and starts imitating what I do. My mom loses her mind. "Don't you ever call him that again. I don't want to hear you say that. That hurts my feelings."
Listen, if y'all knew this man's mother, you'd get it. For those of you who do, you do get it. It's a sight to
Great
see.
woman.
Yeah,
Love her. She will
Great-
do anything for you.
She has great intentions.
But she could have strangled
I believe it.
that day.
I believe it. Like
Oh,
she's
dude,
like,
she
meet
got-
me on the
she got
field.
so mad.
Meet me on the field.
Of course, I'm dying laughing. Everybody else is loving it. Call me Twitch as I go down the line.
Yeah.
But he, as loud as he
They're
said
doing
it,
like the Rudy chant, like Twitch, Twitch, Twitch.
pretty much. But yeah, she got so mad that day.
I believe
Like
it.
it ruined her day.
She probably lost a lot of sleep over it for like the next 17 years.
But I was like, "Mom, it's fine. They gave me that nickname." "Well, that's not funny. If they only knew." I'm like, "Mom, it is okay." Like I had to calm her down.
This is
that
how
day.
college is. Do you want to know what his nickname is? It's yeah.
You're going back to somebody else.
Yeah,
You
like,
want to know what his
yeah,
name
you want to
is.
know, yeah, you want to know what we call him?
Mine's great compared to
Yeah.
his. No, man, to be
times.
Max jumped down. He's like, "Oh," because
What did I-
Candy was getting on him,
Yeah,
son.
I mean, your mom's tall. She's like 6'2". I mean, like 6 foot also.
she's right at 6 foot.
That's
yeah.
what I mean, like 6 foot also.
Yeah, she was tall, but yeah, she
He's like, oh man, I just
don't want to
pissed,
get on Candy's bad
pissed
side.
off the bear.
As many times we got on Candy's bad side growing up.
Yeah, I'm surprised she let you come out and play with me still.
Man,
Y'all really don't know the stories that we could tell. That we should tell.
we should.
We
can save
should.
those
We've got
for a
some
rainy day.
freaking stories.
Yeah, we may have
somehow-
my mom come in and be a guest.
I don't want to stir up any memories for her.
She could probably tell stories better than we could.
Oh yeah, somehow
We would just give her one mic. We wouldn't have the mic. We would just let her take over.
they'd all be geared back to like on me though. Like I'd be even though like
yeah.
sometimes I was, but a lot
Half
of
the time I got in trouble was because of you.
But a lot of times I wasn't even the one doing anything. It's just I was there standing back with my hands in my pocket. But because I was there, she was gonna blame me.
Because I was sweet and innocent.
And I was just well, I mean, I'm saying if there's a group of us, not just me and you.
Just 100 people.
Yeah, there's like 100 people, but she's like,
Where's Preston?
fucking Preston, like, and I'm just like,
Oh, man.
okay, yeah, I did,
Yeah.
sure.
Man, I felt bad for Max those 15 seconds we were out there, Mom, she got fired up, son.
I kind of hope she sees it. Does she ever watch the show?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, okay.
She'll remember.
I'm sure she'll remember. I just can't wait to hear what she has to say about this.
Yeah.
Love
you, Mom.
Candy.
yeah, love you. But yeah, so like we said, big weekend this weekend with college football. A lot of implications going forward for the playoff and how the seeding will work. The committee will probably still find a way to piss people off. But yeah, so let's God, it's gonna be a wild weekend. Again.
Yeah. We're at a point now
going
where
forward.
Every weekend has become a wild weekend. So
yeah, and for Bama, we can't slip up these last 2 weeks because we're in the driver's seat. Even if we miss the conference championship, I think we still get in the playoff.
At this point, knowing who's behind us, I feel confident in that too.
Oh yeah, I mean you beat Oklahoma.
Win out, sure, but even if that still keeps us out of the conference championship with winning out, I don't foresee any team currently with where we're at this season jumping us in the top 12.
So, speaking of, we'll stay in this. We'll talk about conference championship real quick. Did you see the clip that Lane Kiffin said earlier this week?
I don't believe I did.
Talking about how teams that are on the bubble as far as making the conference championship would rather miss the conference championship.
Yeah. I did see that.
Do you think going forward they get rid of the major conference championships?
I've kind of been saying it for a couple of years. As much as I love it, I think it's extremely important. And
it shows pride for the conference.
Yeah, I would hate to get rid of it, but with how we have the playoffs with 4 team and now 12, I don't see any. There's negativity to it, Oh,
there's way more downside to upside.
Because imagine if, let's just pretend Bama was the 12th ranked team and had 2 losses, just like they do now. But let's say they're a 12th ranked team and they're going against, Georgia, who's 10th. Well, let's just pretend whoever they're going against, though, or let's say Texas. Texas is ranked 2nd, right?
Yeah.
And whether we win or whether Texas beats us by 3 or beats us by 20, it's still a loss. Bama would be out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, ultimately Bama should win, and that prevents us from being kicked out. But yeah, no. Or let's just say we don't have 2 losses. Let's just say we have 1, and all the teams are a lot more competitive this year, and there's no talk about having 2 losses or 3 losses, but everyone just has more or less 1 loss, and then we're still ranked 12th, and we lose to a top-seeded Texas, and we're to lose, and then we get booted out. I don't know. It's almost a penalty to playing in and being a second best representative of your conference and losing and then getting kicked out.
It's like going back to Georgia last year. They were undefeated the entire year, lost to Bama in the conference championship, and they got left out of the 14.
Yeah. Bad decision there.
I agree. But it's like...
And then we got...
well, there's some teams, too, on this list that are banking on that conference championship. Like, hey, get us in the conference championship. Give us another opportunity to win a game to boost our chances of getting in the 12th.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, some teams are relying on it, whereas in the SEC, it's it can be a negative.
Yeah, unless you're Texas, I guess, because they're sitting in the driver's seat of the conference. But it's just chaotic right now.
Yeah, it's wide open.
Even for the Big Ten, really, because you could have an Oregon-Ohio State rematch.
Yeah, that's a good point. Which is probably what they're hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Because Oregon, I think regardless, Oregon can lose that game and still make it in.
Oh,
with there being 12 teams, they can afford to lose that one. Where you got to think Ohio State's get us to that game.
Get us to that game. Yeah, that's a really good point. So, well, I guess that about wraps it up for today's episode. Great episode, dude.
Yeah, it was fun. We were short-handed. We missed Peyton and Tyler tonight, but hopefully we came through for you guys.
Yeah. So again, like we always say, we hope that you all feel we are continuing to do better. We feel that way. Again, I feel like tonight went really well. Sorry to those of you who have been on Facebook Live with us, potentially asking any questions. We'll try to get to those as soon as we're done.
Yep.
But as always, thank y'all.
Yeah. For those on YouTube, reach out to your friends, your family. Let them know about us. If you're following us already, subscribe. We appreciate you so much. Reach out to your mom and them. We are on the road to 50 subscribers. That is our milestone right now. We get to 50 subscribers. That'll be a huge blessing. We'll be so thankful for that. We are thankful for the ones who are already subscribed and follow along. We are continuing to put out stuff on our social medias.
Yeah, and
so
that's
reach
really
out,
taken off.
share our content. The more you share, the more we will try to provide.
It may not mean a lot to y'all if you share it. May not think anything of it, but it helps us out.
Yeah, it's a confidence boost. If anything, we're putting stuff out there. We're getting a lot of feedback, a lot of views.
2 videos that we are 2 shorts. So we put out the other day. We had over 25,000 views and
which is crazy.
Like 1,200 likes.
There's that many people that see our two idiots.
So in a matter of 24 hours, we had 2 videos that saw 25,000 different eyes and I think like 1,200 likes between it and probably 20 comments or so. So that's a really big deal. So we're hoping that continues to lead to more people watching us.
Yep. So reach out to your mom and them. And once again, we appreciate you guys following along. As always, roll tide, baby.
Roll Tide.